Hello everybody, this is my video in astrophysics number 27. Well, as you can see, my native language is French, therefore I will try to speak the best English I can. And something else, I am not a professional translator, but I produce the best translation of my French text than I can with a translator then. And something else, I have to follow a text so that I don't forget important details, and in this way I produce the best video I can then. And for those who find my video without going through my website, let me introduce myself. My name as a self-taught and multidisciplinary scientist is Gilles Lauzon-Urtubise, and I am the owner of the First Human multi-intelligence.com site, like this one. So, and as you can see, the title of my video is Universe, Is It Eternal? According to my result of yes, well, the answer is yes, of course. The universe is eternal then. So according to my result of self-taught study, which are largely in astrophysics and a little in chemistry, of only 5 years and 8 months, and during which I have managed to invent and or produce between 50 and 100 or more theories in astrophysics. These studies have led me to invent or produce sufficient quantities of theory to successfully decode the functioning of the universe on a macroscopic scale, and to succeed in explaining the origin of all objects in the universe, as well as their mode of formation, their mode of operation, the circumstances or conditions that led to one or the other of the different possible deaths of all the objects of the universe, and many other things specific to each type of object, but that I will only reveal after following my pattern for my extraordinary spaceship. As a result, the result of my self-studies, which are largely in astrophysics and a little in chemistry, they led me to the inescapable conclusion that the universe is eternal for several reasons that follow. The first one, the Big Bang concept of accommodating and delusional magical thinking, it's never happened then. Number two, all the atoms of all objects in the huge universe that we are unable to measure in terms of dimension, they cannot be compressed into the volume of a single atom. Then, to burst out by accommodating and delusional magical thoughts to produce the Big Bang, and even less to produce by accommodating and delusional magical thoughts the immense quantity of object which is immeasurable in terms of numbers and in terms of overall volume. So one has to be considerably dazed, ignorant, or delusional to accept such absurdity, which is also immeasurable. Then. So then it is impossible to measure. So. Number three, the universe is the totality of everything that exists, and it has absolutely nothing in common with living organisms. organize, yes. So it cannot be born from the most ridiculous and delusional concept in history, which is the Big Bang. Number 4, and even less to be born and then die and be reborn again, and so on, like a certain group of delusional minds trying to get him to accept. Number 5, so that the universe age of only 13.8 billion years is ridiculously wrong. And 6, for many other reasons which I will disclose after filing my patent for my extraordinary spacecraft and my exceptional first generation device that is used to produce 3 extraterrestrial gravitational technology, and maybe my exceptional third generation device which is used to produce much easier the 10 extraterrestrial gravitational technology much more easily then. So this is a further evidence of a complete misunderstanding of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale on the part of all other astrophysicists before me. And of course, it's because of immense difficulties and complexities to overcome before all the other astrophysicists before me can begin to decode little by little how all the objects in the universe work. To then, after, to be able to start forming different theories until they become satisfactory and agree with each other. And after this, and then to be able to start producing a sufficient quantity of theories that can all be complementary until they manage to explain how the universe works from A to Z or almost, until proven otherwise, so as to achieve the same level of explanation as all of my theories of my imposing mother theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale. For me, it is very easy to understand why no one before me had any chance to achieve such an intellectual feat, because it is of an immeasurable level of difficulty, and you will have proof of it when you can read my imposing mother theory on how the universe works on a macroscopic scale on my website and in a scientific journal to my name. For example, as far as I am concerned, there is no way that my extremely high physical, logical mind could be buttered or fooled by any branches of mathematics or any other kind of magic thinking then. Among my 50 and 100 or more theories of my imposing mother theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale, there is none of them that has any connection to mathematics. And all of those 50 or 100 theories or more, there are none of these that can be characterized as one or more about accommodating magical thoughts formed them. Because my extremely high physical logical mind, it originates from an insatiable curiosity about nature that started from an age that is only 5 or 6 years old or before, and until now then. So from a very early age, I found myself assimilating a considerable amount of of nature experience or relationship between physical cause to physical effect. In the way to understand much as I can the nature, and sometimes which I understand that. And all of these starting by early age, by observing the nature of soil, rivers, insects, small animals, and all the things in nature that take too long to list. So for several decades I have managed to accumulate a considerable amount of nature experience and relationship between physical cause to physical effect. In my biological hard drive, because this is extremely useful afterwards to be able to differentiate the possible things from the impossible things then. And among other things, never to be trapped by all kinds of mathematical magical thoughts or other forms of magical thinking which have nothing in common with physical reality. And thanks to my extremely high capacity in deep investigation, in deep reflection, in very deep analysis, in limitless inventiveness of all kind, and many other very important intelligence which I daily use them. So all of these things, this allow me to be the first and the only one in history to be able to decode how the universe works on the macroscopic scale and in an extreme short times of only 5 years and 8 months, whereas every other astrophysicist or planetologist before me has been unable to do so for the past 200 years or further. Currently, my 50 and 100 or more theories of my imposing model theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale give me a level of satisfaction that is somewhere between 96% and 98.5%. And I will never be completely satisfied about this file until I achieve 100% satisfaction. And that is the reason I like to tackle at least 3 or 4 extremely complex files or more at the time, who are currently, the number 1 is my imposing model theory, that I want to achieve 200% satisfaction. The number 2 is my paper pattern, which have between 300 and 350 pages for my extraordinary spaceship. And then, so I need to find the funding because I want to finalize the best possible paper pattern as possible to protect my extraordinary spaceship at 100% if it's possible. Number 3, an extremely important personal file that must be completed after COVID-19 because it significantly harms my intellectual productivity of all kinds, as well as physical, and which I cannot disclose for personal reasons, and because I am the only one in the history who can solve it. So, number 4, a dossier to produce a social website or social network, which is to be the most protective in the history for all members of the society, but which is used to protect the environment, well, in the way that they tell to all users the best practice to do, the best way of living they used to do to protect the environment much as possible, and a lots suggestion and tricks and just to do the best as we can then. this is for the environment, but also for the animal and the nature, and lots other things, and it's too long to list, but in the way that could protect the future of the humanity. So it's about peace then, to make peace much as possible around the world then. Okay, so number 5, many others file in parallel, which is man cancer and woman cancer. But of course, because I'm a man, I have to put the much work I do to prevent cancer, because if I catch cancer and I die, I cannot work anymore for woman cancer. So this is just logic. Then I do the best as I can against men cancer. And so with my search center and with a lot of collaborator, which they should help me to work this way then. And number 6, many other files in parallel which are less important, but that I absolutely want to solve from the moment I have collaborators of several skills and under my direction. Then, and all of these files, it's too long to list, but I want to do much as I can on any files as possible, then because I am an extremely powerful intellectual machine and far superior to all human brain, home computer and powerful computer together of the planet then. And as indisputable proof of this, the first one, it is my imposing mother of the theory about how the universe works on a macroscopic scale, and a lots other file too. So then, which I will publish following my patent filing. So in conclusion of this section of this video, if all the government of the world invest between $1,000 billion and $5,000 billion or more in every brain computer of the planet, they will all or collectively be unable to produce the works like the ones I have produced so far in about 7 years and 2 months. Because outside of me, it is only through the development of a program of artificial intelligence to an extremely high level. First. Second, build the strong, powerful computer as possible to produce on one side lots of new ideas, many thousand new ideas on one side, and the other side form many groups of 5 or 10 scientists of different scales and the best mind of the planet to pass in review all the new ideas was produced by intelligent, pretty high artificial intelligence, and to classify all of those ideas in 4 categories. So, well, the category of 0 to 25 is for the ideas doesn't have so much chance to be good. After this, it's all the ideas they should go in the category of 25 to 50%. After that, another category of 50 to 75%, and the last one to 75%, 200, to receive the top idea, the best ideas, which produce realism, and which they are the ones they have to be experimented in first. And after all they was experimented, they goes to the next categories until they pass all the ideas which they need to be experimented. So in addition to my self-taught study in astrophysics of only 5 years and 8 months to successfully decode the functioning of the universe, during all of that time, there is no mystery that I have failed to decode or solve. And if there are any mystery to be discovered that I have yet to meet, I sincerely doubt that any mystery of the universe can withstand my very high intellectual power in investigation, reflection, deep analysis, and inventiveness of all kind, plus a lot other very important intelligence that I used to practice daily. Because so far I have always managed to decode or solve all the mystery that I have encountered, and in a small group of subjects, I provide at least to produce one satisfactory explanation or more than one. And of all of my theories that going into my imposing model theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale, there are none of them that can be called a theory of one or more accommodating magical thought, or mathematical magical thought, or any other accommodating magical thinking then. Because all of my theory are based on one or more relationship of physical cause to physical effect, and nothing else then. In conclusion, my intellectual and humanitarian ambition and my responsibility as a multidisciplinary and self-taught scientist and humanist is to advance the knowledge of the humanity. Plus, it's to form a website which is used to protect all members of the society, to protect the environment as much as possible, and give lots of ideas, technique, practice to protect much the environment as possible, and plus to protect all the animals in the nature, because by protecting them we are so protecting us, and lots other things. Then it's too long to list, but it's so incredible and so important to protect the future of the humanity, like to protect peace and democracy. So let's see that. And the term impossible is a term that it will never, and the term impossible, it's a term for me that I will never respect, and as long as I am sufficiently in good physical, intellectual, and mental condition then. So thank you for viewing my video, and welcome to see my next video, which will reveal my opinion on another pretty complex subjects of the universe. So thank you, goodbye.